Crypto whales are scooping up these altcoins during the dip, and a bunch of major macro events are happening this week that we need to pay attention to, as they'll shape the next few months of the crypto market. This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when we drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, AltcoinBuzzIO, and as always, not financial advice, and wish you the best of luck in your crypto ventures. Alright guys, happy Monday. We've had a little bit of sideways / choppy action over the weekend. Nothing major has happened, but I don't think it's worth really doing too much tea on Bitcoin right now because of what's about to happen this week, which is the whole macro. But we are holding just around $83,500 right now, pretty much below resistance right here. I do expect us to continue lower. However, a lot of this depends on what happens this week because it's going to be a big macro week. So starting off, a macroeconomy landscape is at a critical inflection point. The most consequential week of 2025 is upon us. Here are 8 crucial insights you need to know before the markets open tomorrow. So first off, we have FOMC showdown this Wednesday, March 19th. Markets have priced in nearly a 0% chance of the Fed rate cut, but Powell's recent tone suggests he's concerned about over-tightening. The data tells a different story than consensus believes. Global liquidity continues its upward trajectory despite market volatility. This isn't just theory, it's measurable. Bitcoin has historically followed this liquidity curve with remarkable precision. So this is Bitcoin compared to the global M2 money supply, and we can see here Bitcoin right now is on a downtrend. However, the M2 money supply bottomed out sooner than the Bitcoin price, and so the M2 money supply is now heading upwards. So hopefully this means that, Bitcoin will also continue going upwards. That's what he's trying to point out with this chart. Market psychology has shifted drastically. The fear and greed index is at 30, extreme fear. Last time we saw readings this low, the 2022 bear market bottom. When sentiment reaches these extremes, positioning becomes everything. The poly market is now showing a 100% probability that the Fed ends quantitative tightening before May. This isn't speculation, it's market-based forecasting. If confirmed at Wednesday's FOMC, the liquidity environment transforms overnight. Few understand the implications for risk on assets like crypto. BlackRock isn't waiting for confirmation. Their Bitcoin holdings at $47.47 billion and growing. While retail investors debate narratives, the world's largest asset manager is quietly accumulating. This asymmetry creates opportunity. We're witnessing a perfect storm of monetary policy shifts, institutional adoption, and market psychology. The convergence of these forces sets the stage for significant price discovery. Smart money positions before the narrative. So he's essentially saying smart money, whales, BlackRock, they're all buying before this potential narrative shift, where whether it's this week at this FOMC or in the next month or before May, there will be some kind of big policy change where they'll stop quantitative tightening and they'll potentially start quantitative easing, start printing more money. The global M2 money supply will go up, and then Bitcoin and risk assets like other altcoins will then follow as well. And then moving on, we have the Cardano Foundation is now working with NASA, integrating Cardano, saying this.
We're actually working with the National Space Agency, so NASA, around some of these track and trace, not just from physical items like hoodies, but also about data and data provenance. One of the unique things you can do on Cardano, which you cannot do on any other blockchains, to my knowledge, of the big size, right, is something called Parisia Merkle trees. So we actually took the whole Bitcoin protocol and put it on Cardano. So every single Bitcoin transaction there ever was and there ever will be is automatically recorded on Cardano. This is really hard to do because, normally you take a data dump, right, and you keep to maintain it, right? But this idea that you have a flexible end date is very interesting. And what we're doing then is we're exploring everything from satellite data, which keeps updating with billions of time, right? Because then it becomes a provenance layer of data. And when you have a provenance layer of data, you have quality for the AI to train on, right? And you have reinsurance, and you have all those things which we've been dreaming about in blockchain for so long, right?
And LA Charts also recently shared that whales bought around 130 million Cardano in the last 72 hours. So Cardano has had a little bit of a price comeback. And then we also have big move, ADA meets the Bitcoin Lightning Network. So Charles Hoskinson recently said this about Cardano, as well as Bitcoin and 1 million transactions per second.
And also we're exploring how to merge Hydra with the Lightning Network and create Lightning Hydra, so that Bitcoin relationship strengthens. We're also looking at Bitcoin DeFi as a first-class citizen. Whether the roadmap passes or not, I'm just going to do that because I think that's cool.
So of all the assets named in the U.S. Strategic Reserve stockpile, Cardano is one of the best looking right now. It didn't fully, retrace this whole candle, at least hold above it. So this is the candle that broke out when, Donald Trump announced that Cardano was going to be part of a strategic reserve, and then it became a stockpile. Then it fully retraced this. It came back, but it didn't. The fact that it's not below this is, somewhat bullish. It's not amazing, but it's somewhat bullish. It's holding up better than Solana, for example. But we are holding at this key level of support right here. We're pretty much whatever happens with Bitcoin this week in the whole macro is pretty much going to follow into altcoins. So right now, what we'd like to see is we'd like to see this level here hold. So it's like we start to create these higher lows. I'd like to see something like this where we can kind of come up, break through this resistance, and then reclaim this level. And then I think we'd be off to the races. But likewise, if we do have some, news heading into FOMC this week, and then it's bad news, I expect us to then reject and maybe come back down here again. Likewise, if we just have bad news and a sell-off at market open here today on Monday morning, it is possible we head back down to this level of support and do a little bit more accumulation before we head back up when the rest of the market recovers. Those are two kind of examples I'm looking for right now. Either we head up, we reject here, or if we don't reject here, we reclaim here, and that's the level I'd want to be buying because it's a lot more convincing of a level when we have sustained selling pressure above sustained buying pressure above 85 cents. This is where I'd like to be buying, or if we come down here, I'd like to be buying here. Right now in the middle, it's not too interesting to me right now. It's a lot of chop, so that is Cardano. Walrus protocol has the fastest solution for data storage on the market today, and it's from the team behind Sui. It's a potential Filecoin killer because it does some things that Filecoin can't. One thing is that it's so resilient that even with only a few nodes operating, your data availability won't be affected. Decentralized data storage on Walrus is solving a big problem many blockchains suffer from. That's poor coordination, and it affects you more than you realize. Walrus protocol has some big advantages with Sui and the Mu programming language over other decentralized data providers. The problem, as they call it, is coordination. It's making sure that if a protocol does three things, that those three things work seamlessly with each other. Also, the protocol needs to work with other projects in the ecosystem and with the blockchain infrastructure like validators. Just listen to the Sui co-founder describe the problem and how Walrus is part of the solution.
The best platform for you to use to solve your coordination problem, because it comes with a lot of features that you already need out of the box, is Sui. And that's not just because, you can write a smart contract and it does stuff. That's one thing, of course, right? But also if we take the example, let's say again, of Walrus, even the things that are not in Sui, right? Let's say the storage nodes that are separate from Sui, they still need to coordinate with each other, and our best bet, we believe, is to coordinate through Sui, right? To say, well, look, okay, we're all going to be reading and writing state from Sui, doing transactions, reading state, expressing things as resources when it makes sense, and that drives effectively that off-chain infrastructure.
Walrus is finishing up its testnet, and the mainnet and wall token launch are coming soon. And to stay up to date on testnet progress and other news, make sure to follow the Walrus Protocol's X account and other socials linked down below. Then we have Ivan on Tech saying breaking Solana has more 24-hour volume than ETH and Base combined. Also take a look at the number of traders and transactions. So we can see here on a 7-day trend, $1.6 billion, 7 million total traders, 18.4 million total transactions, and 4.9 million total tokens. Compare that to the next one, which is Ethereum, 141,000 total traders with 168,000 total transactions, and even Base with 1 million total traders and 1.8 million total transactions. So even, with all of these combined, basically, doesn't even make up Solana's still continued reign over the markets right now, even with the price being down so much. Solana also leads all blockchains in daily active addresses. Solana is where the action is at. We can see here, total daily active addresses. Solana is the top right now, followed closely by Near, Tron, and Sui, with Aptos and Base afterwards. But even so, Solana is still leading everything. Solana also just had his 5th birthday, 408 billion plus transactions, 1,300 plus validators, and $987 billion in volume. We also have Altcoin Scholar saying, the Solana is just meme coins narrative couldn't be more wrong. This ecosystem map shows what exactly is happening on Solana. 25 plus mature DeFi protocols, Jupiter, Camino, Meteora, real payment integrations, Stripe, Visa, and PayPal, full AI agent infrastructure emerging, game ecosystems with real users, Star Atlas, and Aurora. While other chains talk about potential use cases, Solana has built a complete Web3 stack, spanning from infrastructure to consumer applications. The most impressive part, most of this was built during the bear market. And while I will say Solana's price isn't looking the best, it's looking all right. So if we compare it to Cardano, we can see here, this was the pump that Cardano got when the strategic reserve was announced. And then we have the Solana one. This was right here. So it came up, and it's even lower than this price before. So not super bullish compared to Cardano. Cardano looks better. But I will say it's looking okay. It's holding above this level right here, which we want to do, starting to make a little bit of higher lows. I could expect us to see if we have a bit of a green start to the week, if we don't continue selling off and markets and TradFi markets can hold up for a little bit. I do expect us to have a little bit of a bounce. Maybe we come back up to here, somewhere around this $168 level. I could see us, having maybe a lower high if the news, if there's no major news happening until FOMC. But likewise, I can also see us chopping just around these levels around here until around the FOMC, because no one's exactly sure what's going to happen. So a lot of people won't be positioning with huge size before then. So it's very hard to say what will happen this week because there's such big macro events happening, and that news really drives the price of everything. So that is Solana. I'm not taking any trades on Solana right now. I kind of want to see what happens. It's not the strongest, so I want to see it confidently, come back above at least 147, at least above this line right here. If we can start to come above here and start to consolidate, then I'll start looking for potential trades. But ideally, you want to see it hold above these levels for a little bit longer, and it hasn't been confidently holding above these levels just yet. And then we have Ash Crypto saying VanEck has filed for an AVAX ETF in Delaware, filing for a possible spot avalanche ETF. So an AVAX ETF, we haven't really heard about this one much lately. And then we have Trump's World Liquidity Finance bought 103,000 AVAX worth $2 million and 2.45 million MNT worth $2 million 3 hours ago. In total, World Liquidity Finance has spent $343 million on 11 different tokens, but every single one is in the red with a total loss of $118 million, which is kind of funny, but kind of sad at the same time. Everything they're buying is in the red, but I mean, this is Trump's DeFi project. I doubt they're going to, just keep buying these tokens with no potential expectation of it to go up at some point. So I do think of all the coins that you could be possibly watching and buying, anything on this list is probably a decent bet, except for maybe ETH. That one's not looking that great. But moving on to AVAX, we have sitting down here, I will say of all the coins we've charted today, AVAX actually looks the worst. We have to go to a higher time chart to see this. But yeah, we're underneath this major level of support and resistance at $20. We're at 18.66. We don't look that great. I could see us coming back up. I mean, we've already come up here and rejected once. I could see us maybe tapping again and rejecting. But unless we get some major AVAX ETF news or something happens, I think we're going to come back up here and reject around the $20 mark and come back down. But if we have some ETF news, we have some good macro events this week. If we reclaim this level, if we come back above, we come up to like $22, and then we come back down to $20 and reclaim this level, and then I could see us going back up again. But until then, I don't really want to touch this coin because it has broken this major level of support here at $20. This is like a very high from November. What is this? November 2023. It finally broke this high time frame support. So until it confidently comes back above here, I don't want to be buying AVAX. But I do want to be watching this just in case. We do get that good news. We get potential ETF listings and all that. Then it will be good to be a buy once it comes back above $20. So that is Avalanche. And then lastly today, we have Web3 sports platform Stars.io migrates to Concordium Layer 1 blockchain. Stars.io is a Dubai-based Web3 sports gaming platform, and it's migrating its portfolio of games and platforms to Concordium Layer 1 blockchain, a public blockchain platform designed for security, privacy, and scalability. The migration, which is set to be complete in late March 2025, will allow Stars.io to access Concordium's Layer 1 scalable infrastructure and host a wide catalog of games. According to the team's statement, all gaming titles and collections, such as the Stars football game, will be ported to Layer 1 blockchain, as well as future releases. Stars.io offers a sports fantasy gaming platform with interactive sports games, enhanced by NFT-based collectibles, encompassing football and cricket, which enables fans to earn rewards, trade digital assets, and engage deeply with the sports they love. In addition, new Stars games are slated for deployment on Concordium, including a cricket game for India scheduled for Q3, as well as existing Stars Play Mina cricket game, which debuted on Concordium last month. But that is pretty much the video for today, guys. Unfortunately, we have to kind of wait to see what happens with the macro news this week, so make sure to stay tuned because we're going to be covering that all week and seeing what happens with Bitcoin's price as this new macro news comes out. Hopefully, we have some quantitative easing and no more quantitative tightening happening so we can get this Bitcoin price going. So that's it for the video today, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.